A gifted musician, funny, quirky, kind, intelligent, these were just some of the words used to describe Frankie Thomas in court today.
Well, she's kind of typical teenager in a way, pretty quirky. She was really kind as well.
She said, "Dad, I think I'm going to be a session musician when I grow up," and at the age of 14, coming up 15, doing really well on the bass guitar. I thought, oh, I could believe that as well.
Diagnosed with autism, she attended Stepping Stones, a special needs school in Surrey. It was here that she looked up stories about self-harm and suicide on the day that she took her own life, aged 15. Hours later, her mother found her unresponsive in her bedroom. The method of suicide the same as in the last entry she had read. Today, the coroner said the material Frankie was accessing that day more than minimally contributed to her death. We heard that she spent 2 hours and 20 minutes with unfettered access to the internet on an iPad that her school should have been monitoring closely. This, she said, was a serious failure on their part.
It's not an exaggeration to say it tore us apart. I'm not very good at holding this together. Frankie was vulnerable. She had some special needs. And she didn't even have a laptop at home. And to find out what she was accessing or what she was able to access freely
On school equipment at school
was horrifying, and it was devastating.
The platform that Frankie found these stories on is called Wattpad, and I'm on it right now. Within minutes, I've managed to access plenty of material relating to self-harm, to sexual violence, to suicide, even though, according to my profile, I'm just 14 years old. It describes itself as a global entertainment company, but it's user-generated content, so that means anyone, you or I, could post a story, and there are over 1 billion up there right now, with just 600 moderators filtering the content. We put this to the company, and they told us they'd develop robust policies and processes to ensure the trust and safety of all their users. It's yet another startup that's blown up into big business, acquired by a South Korean conglomerate with an annual revenue of $5 billion. The same month, incidentally, that the UK government published a draft online harms bill. That's law which it says will police social media companies. One of those scrutinising it now before it comes into force is Baroness Kidron, who wrote the government's current digital privacy code for children. It's such a fine line between one platform being shut down, another springing up. They all operate in different jurisdictions. How on earth, as one country with one bill, can we police this?
Well, I think there's two things to say here. First of all, you know, I introduced the Age-Appropriate Design Code into law a few years ago. It came into being this summer, and we've seen huge changes right across the globe from the big platforms in relation to one code, one country. So I think that lack of optimism is not justified. I think we're going to see change. This is really tech's tobacco moment, and I think let's start again. The era of self-regulation is over. They can't be trusted. We need regulation.
The law isn't expected to come into force until the end of next year. For now, Frankie's family are continuing the fight, writing to the US and UK governments, trying to navigate a complex web of international tech law to stop their own child's story recurring.
We just think we're doing what we can now, and eventually we will think, now what? We never, ever, ever forget Frankie. We think about her every day. But we need to move on as well, eventually. Yeah, and to honour her with whatever else we do in our lives. We want to honour her so that she'll be proud of us, whatever we do next.
And if you've been affected by anything in that report, you can get support by going to the Channel 4 website. Go to channel4.com/support.